Now, you know, when you've been in a situation where you've been around a whole bunch of people, yet you felt like so lonely, so by yourself, so misunderstood.
Yes. Being in those spaces just to be around. You know,
Like,
it's
why,
like
stay home,
bro. I could
Rub
be
those
at
feet
home
together.
I could be at home doing a self-care night.
I could be
like,
at home.
I'm here. I'm present.
Eating sushi.
Look, eating sushi.
Eating sushi and watching my
You know what
favorite
I'm
show.
saying?
Hello, everyone. If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means that you are tuned into Actually with Jordan Alexa. Here we challenge conformity and ignite insight by encouraging you to think for your own self. And we do that by talking about the human process, thought process, etc., etc. And you can think of me as your friend is going to tell you what it is, how it is, and if it is, because sometimes it is and sometimes it ain't. You know, it's given that that's the last time I'm gonna do that intro. That is a lot of talking. Anyways, how are you guys? So happy to have you back. I actually have with me today a friend. Her name is Vannah Anastasia Shaniqua Cherrelle Campbell. So I'm gonna go ahead. I did all that so you can introduce yourself.
Who is that?
I have my friend Vannah here with me. I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself because it'll be weird to just let her sit here while I do all the gabbing. So we could just go ahead and get started. So you can just introduce yourself and tell everybody how you fell in love with me. Go ahead.
Wow. Well, first I want to say thank you so much for that intro. It was beautiful.
Aww.
Definitely made me feel special. But my name's Vannah. I am a grant writer by trade, a solutionist by nature, with a passion for people. Have a really big heart.
Extremely big.
Huge. I'm the CEO of Pulling Purpose, and I also have a grant writing and business strategy business where I focus on personal and professional development.
Big boss.
Talk to me nice. It's called ICLC Professional Services. How I fell in love with Jordan.
You fell in love with me? Oh my God. How did that even happen?
Oh my God. We met on the filming of, what was it called?
Is it church?
Somewhere at church. But that was almost 3 years ago. And we've been kicking it ever since. It's been a vibe. She really has been a jewel and an asset to my life in more ways than I can put into words.
And y'all, let me tell y'all, I don't be talking to everybody like it's talking about. And when I met Vannah, I said, no, she said, hey, how are you? I said, good, how are you? And she said, she's good. And the Holy Spirit was like, all right, ask her another question. I was just like, for what?
I'm screaming.
I'm just here to film and that's it. And the Lord was like, no, ask her what she does, whatever. Blah, blah. So I was like, fine, you're pulling my leg. I got to. So I did. And when I tell you we've been talking ever since, just gabby.
Chatterbox. Chatterbox.
Seriously. So, Vannah, we just entered the new year. And we were just talking about how it literally feels like, the year halfway over, but it's only day 9. I thought it was day 7. That shows you where my mind is at. I'm just all over the place right now. But
it's definitely giving March.
Yeah. It's like, why are the birds not chirping? Where's the sun?
Yeah.
So how have been the first 9 days?
How have been?
How have the first 9 days been?
Well, they have been. I just got over COVID.
And COVID's not out of style, baby. It's 2025.
Wear your mask,
and
gloves.
People are still getting it.
Take your elderberry, please. Vitamin C.
All of the above.
All of the above. So being sick really knocked the wind out of me, literally. But even in addition to that, like running a business on top of working. I work a full-time job. It's been challenging to navigate. These 9 days have been power packed.
It's just like, has it not been 3 weeks? Like 9 days? That's crazy.
That's it. It definitely feels like January is getting ready to leave versus it just begun.
Right. Like, what the heck? I'm so confused, honestly. Did you have any New Year's resolutions?
Not any resolutions, but definitely goals.
Because I don't believe in those.
Like,
that was a test. Do you believe in resolutions?
It's the same me.
Yeah, New Year, new me. I was talking about that on the last episode. It's giving like you have an issue. Why are you a new person every single year?
Because I'm all for evolution, but
why are you changing personalities every year?
Absolutely not.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I have Vannah here with me today because of the topic at hand that we're going to be talking about. So if we think about me and we think about like the process of going through something, and then let's say like our emotions in the process is a tunnel, and then the other side is the solution, like the, whatever.
Yeah.
When I be talking about stuff, I really just be like, yeah, it went through this and that tunnel. I don't really talk about the tunnel. I just talk about I be talking about the grand scheme of life, Yeah. Vannah can vouch for I don't be caring about nothing.
No.
And not like I don't care, not like apathetic or not like being rude. It's just like, I'd be like, huh?
Yeah. It just doesn't have the weight or bearing on you.
I just be like, all right.
A normal person.
So I have Vannah here with me today because she's a girl.
I'm a girl's girl.
Yeah, not to say I'm not a girl, but she is one of my friends who experiences their emotions. They know how to communicate them. They know how to convey them. So it's just like, come on, girl, just come on over. Let's hobbity wobbity.
I feel all the things.
For sure. And she'd be like, Jordan. And I'm like, no, Vannah.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about a topic that, to me, it comes up every 2 to 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And that is navigating friendship breakups. Every 2 to 3 years, it be going viral. And it's given that y'all's friendships don't be lasting more than 2 to 3 years.
No.
Because it's the same cycle over and over and over again. But I wanted to talk about it because, once again, it's popping up. And so it's just like, all right, guys. I mean, I do believe that, there are ebbs and flows of relationships and friendships do have seasons. But it's just like, why is this such a thing? Because I don't want to say issue because it happens. I don't want to say problem because it's okay. But it's like, why does it become so prevalent in like I said, every 2 to 3 years is this cycle. So first things first, Vannah. Have you ever broken up with a friend? Have you ever had a friendship breakup?
I have. Yes.
That ain't look real. She said, her face out of twisted. She said, yes.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually navigated that a couple of times.
Same. So in your friendship breakups, have most of them been mutual? Have most of them been they broke up with you, you broke up with them?
So interestingly enough, I have been on both sides. So I've been the one to initiate the breakup and also been on the receiving end. I think that both are hard to participate in.
Either side is hard.
Either side is challenging.
Yeah.
I think regardless of whether the person is coming to you or you're going to them, I think that the end result is you having to grieve that friendship.
Yeah, at the end of the day. And I don't think that people realize that that's what it is. It is a grief.
Yeah.
There's definitely a level of grief that goes with it. There have been literally, especially for us girls, there have been scientific studies that literally say for girls, having friends is it's like friends married. That's
real.
how, that's the emotional impact.
It's when I say there's an elitism, I in all of my friendships have always just kind of felt like they're family, right?
Yeah.
And especially my male friends. I don't know, I find myself saying stuff like, if my husband don't, because baby, the bar is high.
I think it's because women were communal beings, and that's
Yeah.
across all species. When you see women like lionesses, they walk together.
Yeah.
Like when women were hunters and gatherers, they went out together. When you see, women, in, I don't want to say the hood, wherever. Women hanging out, they be on the front porch in the rocking chair, because it don't have to just be the front stoop of the block.
The front stoop
What
is
is
crazy.
it called?
The porch.
Whatever. But I think which goes to why it is such a grieving process, because we are communal beings. We are relationship oriented, very much so.
Yeah.
And I know that, going back for me, of course, I mean, how many friendship breakups have I been through?
2.
More than 2. I've literally had
You mate for life.
people, because it's so hard for people to get in. That's the thing. It's hard for people to get in. So once you in, it's like, there have literally only been like 2 people. Oh, wow. There have only been like 2 people when they cut me off, and I was like, you know what? You got it. I messed up. But
like, it's a wrap.
Right. I get it. I really, my bad. But for like the handful of other people, I've had people like block me out of nowhere and not explain why. I've had people make up, like one time I had somebody say that they were mad at me, and I said why, and they said they had an argument with me in their right. I think for me, a lot of the initiation of my friendship breakups is that, unfortunately, with a girl who might be, especially my friendships, like, I'm very vocal. I'm very big on accountability. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love hard, but I expect that in return. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like some people come in with like a preconceived notion, maybe. Mm-hmm. And so, like, if I do the slightest thing, it's like, Hitler. Off with her head. Right? Like, kill her. She needs to die. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, a lot of times, I told Vannah, like, even when we started getting closer, I was like, if I hurt your feelings, please
let me know. I'm sorry.
I really just be talking. I be gabbing, and not to say like irresponsibly.
Yeah.
But I saw this video the other day, and this girl said, "You're shocked at what I said. I'm shocked. Like, I found out what I was about to say when it came out my mouth. Like, that's me." And so, whatever. But navigating friendship breakups is definitely hard. There's definitely a grieving aspect to it. And so, besides grief, what are some of the emotions that you felt with friendship breakups? I know for me, it's been real run up, get done up.
So, anger.
Yeah. Like, if you
also, I'd say confusion.
Yeah.
Because even if I'm the one coming to you or initiating the breakup, I think that I love so hard. There's still a part of me that doesn't want to let go, So navigating the confusion is definitely I don't know.
Anger,
I feel like
confusion.
That's a really big emotion.
And then another one would, and we could talk more on this later, would be bitterness. I think a lot of times people think bitterness is you being nasty, you being mean, but all bitterness is how you act based on how somebody treats you. So let's say you're somebody who, I just love to serve people. I just love to But if you're doing that out of like fear of rejection, that's bitterness. It's a perversion of a thing. So, moving forward, somebody try to come and be your friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, what you doing?
I don't.
Get away.
Get away.
Don't touch you. Don't come close. What you mean be friends, But yeah, same. Like I said, I feel like, how they got the 5 levels of grief? I don't even know what they are. Is it 5 or 7?
I don't know. I don't believe in that.
Oh, well, great. Cause I don't know what they are.
I don't believe. I know that it is a process. I know that it is severe. But stages,
Yeah, because you may be one over here one day and then go back and then
You
go
know,
back.
like
what I'm saying?
I linear. It was not
Anything linear is
It's
just
never
like,
been that for me.
except for my height. I don't get it.
And I'm this big, so.
But yeah, for me, like when I tell you, I had one friendship breakup that was just like, bruh. I didn't want to fight the friend that I broke up with. I wanted to fight their friend. Because I felt like they was talking about me. And that like led to like the friendship breakup, whatever.
Yeah, because I feel like it turns into, this didn't even have to be something that we went through or experienced.
Let me tell you something. It's like they unofficially broke up with me, but they didn't say anything. And then so like they reached out to me to like ask me something. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you ain't talked to me in 2 years and you asked me this. And so like it kind of started off as like they unofficially broke up with me, but then like I saw how like they were, because I was reaching out and I was, whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw how they were handling that. And I was like, I thought way more of you. So like I really like, I was the one who officially like, cut it off.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I told him, I said, we didn't even have to get to this point.
Right.
Like for me, the fact that it got to this point, and the fact that you let it get to this point, in my mind, which is an issue for me, like going into relationships, period, friendships, you made me feel disposable.
Yeah.
If you make me feel disposable, wrap it up and put a bow on it. Because send it through Amazon, because I don't want it.
I think that people sometimes, it's easy for them to say, oh, well, you just felt triggered. Those are your triggers. You have to deal with that. No. When you genuinely care about someone, you're gentle. Like you take.
Or you care about how it is that they receive things.
Correct.
Because that's another thing. And that's something we talked about earlier. All friendship breakups weren't even necessary.
Right.
Sometimes it's a matter of being mature and you being willing to communicate with that person in the way that they understand communication.
Correct.
Because it's not even about, well, they want this. It's like, no, that actually does not compute with them. You see what I'm saying?
It's like you telling a child to do something and they don't understand what the instructions are. Mm-hmm. So then they ask again for clarity.
If Johnny had frustrated. 5 apples, and it's like the kid don't understand
that baby can't even count.
Why does he get a whooping?
Break it down.
If Johnny, like, simmer.
Yeah.
Like you was just like that at his age.
I think that opening up the door for communication.
Yeah.
Even if it does not end in a resolve.
Yeah.
At least you were able to fully express yourself, and then the receiving person was able to do the same. Creating that space for you both to vent at least, I feel like is necessary.
Yeah. But you know what? Everybody's not in, because I had a situation where I thought of a
People
friend.
slow.
I thought of a friend highly.
People slow.
And I said, I just want to talk to you about this situation, whatever. Why? Because they lied on me. Funny. I tell you, that thing ended up with me blacking out and almost
taking their head off. Yeah.
And so I was trying to come from a mature place, and they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so my first sign should have been when it was like, no, I'm not listening to you. I should have been like, you know what? This somebody who don't even care. Like, I should have backed out then.
Right.
Especially because our emotions are involved. Like with friendships, your emotions are so intertwined. You done shared your heart. You done shared.
Absolutely.
It's just like, oh my God, come on.
It's like I think of it as a undressing, if you will. Like imagine you come, people don't give up their goods on the first date. Like they just don't do that. They don't do that. You gotta ease into it. Like you gotta think about it. There are years to these friendships, layers that have been, scathed back. That level of vulnerability,
and now you want to fight. You want to be a weirdo. You want to be weird to me.
You want to switch up on me.
Literally, it hurts so bad.
It hurts so bad.
And so I guess the question for somebody watching who may be going through this situation is, how do I navigate those emotions?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh. So one, Um, I always say pray about it.
Y'all, Vannah is saved. You see how I got my finger on her like this? This how the Lord hand be on her at all times. Just like that. At all times.
Yeah, he don't play by me. And vice versa. That's my dog. We like
him.
am I twinning him? I always say pray, and I say pray because prayer is breath for the believer, right? It also is a filter, so it's an opportunity.
Yeah, that's good.
It's an opportunity for you to fully flesh out how you feel, why you feel, what you feel. Express your thoughts, express your emotions without judgment.
Yeah.
Also, without being interrupted. I think being able to get it out. Sometimes we really just want to be heard.
For sure.
Because that might solve it. You know, you literally don't know. But so often we skip prayer and go to fight.
Yeah.
We skip prayer and go to approach a person. It's like you
That's
didn't even,
so real, Vannah.
You didn't even go through the order of operations.
Literally, that is so real because there's so many times, and I also think that that's why I am the way I am. Why I'll talk about the solution or the outcome more than the emotions because during the emotions I was praying and the Lord said, I mean, that doesn't matter. Or you do that. Or you only felt that way because of this.
Yeah.
Or that actually, you felt that way because somebody pushed you in kindergarten. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't even know how things could possibly be connected.
Literally.
But if you don't create the space
yeah.
for him to meet you, you've already started off wrong.
It's already
and that alone should be validation for you that it's all flesh.
Yep.
Even, I don't care what they did to you. If you didn't take it to the Father, it's all flesh.
And not to say that, you know, even when you get there, he's going to be like, all right, dismiss, who
Right,
cares?
right.
There are some emotions that are valid and the Lord will say, all right, go to them.
Right.
And go handle it with them. Because one thing about God, he going to be like, did you ask? God is so confrontational.
Okay.
And that be nothing like, I'll be upset about something. I'm like, I'm not going to pray about it because he going to tell me to go ask
I
him.
already know how he
He
coming.
going to tell me to go ask him, right?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of y'all be skipping because you don't want to know. But you're really doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, that's real. And I also feel like, you know, because sometimes friendship breakups just start with ghosting.
Yeah.
Like just stopping, you know, because we don't want to have those confrontational conversations or because we don't want to deal with whatever.
We avoid.
You avoid it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that enables you not being able to grow as a person, not being able to grow as an individual, especially when you're noticing that you're entering friendships and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's like, I can say for sure, almost all my friendship breakups, totally different. I mean, yeah, they blame me, but they weren't for all the same reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you repeat cycles.
Man.
You repeat cycles, and you repeat cycles. And you look up and you're like, I'm always around this certain kind of person. Or, you know, and sometimes that's because there's something in you that's not developing, that's not growing. That's because there's something that you are refusing to acknowledge. That's because there's something that, you know, you're being prideful about, or, you know, you just never know.
There's an area of opportunity lying somewhere or something lying dormant that's being triggered by these groups of individuals that you continue to put yourself in connection with. But you have to be willing to take the time to pause, to do that self-analysis in order to really grow past it or move past it. If you don't, you will continue to repeat those cycles.
Yeah. And that's something we were talking about earlier before we started filming. We were talking about, what did you say? Because on the other side was the immaturity in not being able to, the different kind of friends, like growing past friends. Because she was saying that she thinks the reason why this topic is coming up right now is because, I'll let you say it. I won't take your words, girlfriend.
What I said, girl.
You forgot? Her said, because I remember.
I thought so. I think I said that part of the reason why this topic is circling again or circles ever so often is because in today's society, I feel like we've transitioned from people focusing so much on mental health awareness, whereas those people have actually taken the steps towards pursuing
Doing the work.
their healing and doing the work. And the thing is, if you're in an old environment, once you've completed that work, or at least even started the process, as you heal what's around you, if it is also not changing, you need to relocate.
So before we even go there, because that's a whole thing.
It's deep.
The maturity thing on the flip side of it is there are a lot of people who talk a big game. There are a lot of people who the mental health jargon, you know, the word trigger, the word trauma, the word, you know, I had a, woo, thank you, Lord.
Jordan, please.
Woo.
We're going to get up out of there.
Woo.
Yeah, we're going to get up out of there.
But it's just like, just because you looked it up on Webster does not mean that you actually know what you're talking about. Okay. I always say that it's not enough to acknowledge. It's not even enough to be able to point to where something came from. You have to be able to do the work.
Yeah.
You have to be able to do the work. Like,
that's so good.
Just because you say, and I know I'm like this because my daddy and you have okay, but you're 35.
Come on.
Your dad left the house when you were 10. That was 25 years.
Walk it out. And if you can't, then you got some bigger stuff.
You know? And it's just like, don't talk about it if you ain't gonna do nothing.
Come on.
That's how I feel.
Come on.
But for the people who they've discovered, oh no, I'm growing, because it's two parts. Because sometimes people are in the middle of a friendship and they're trying so hard to hold on to it. It's like, when do you recognize that it's time to actually let this friendship go, or let these friendships go? So let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about, because that's like the prerequisite before, all right, you've grown beyond this, you've grown beyond these people. So like what because have you ever been in that situation where you were growing past?
I have.
So what were the signs that it was just like, all right, GTG, gotta go?
So one sign, I think, would be simple communication. You finding yourself in a constant loop of conflict based off of what you used to be able to conversate about easily. I think that having constant rifts or feeling sort of not triggered, not offended, that's not the right word, but you just feeling something internally based off of in any casual conversation. I think that is an eye opener that, okay, something has shifted.
Yeah. I think for me, it was like, what the hell are we talking about?
Jordan, please.
I'm sorry. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? What? Huh? Like that confusion. The reason why they're so comfortable doing that with you is because you were right there with them at one point.
And what I was going to add to that is, once you notice that shift in conversation, like the simple thing that you guys used to be able to connect over, now it's something that's irritating you or causing you to feel like off.
Yeah.
I think it then causes you to take a look at yourself, and you self-reflect and think, okay, what has happened in my life that I'm now not meshing with this? What's going on?
For sure. And so it's just like recognizing those differences. Also, that now, you know, when you've been in a situation where you've been around a whole bunch of people, yet you felt like so lonely, so by yourself, so misunderstood.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another sign. And then
I want to add to that quickly. Being in those spaces just to be around, you know,
like
it's
like stay home,
bro. I could be
those
at
feet
home
together.
I could be at home doing a self-care night.
I could be
like,
at home.
I'm here. I'm present.
Eating sushi.
Look, I have dressed. Eating sushi.
Eating sushi and watching my favorite show.
I have gotten dressed. I done beat my face.
Girl.
I've done all of the things, but I'm in this
To
space
feel empty.
surrounded by people that are not feeling me.
Jesus. And who don't, or who are not even trying, because that's another thing. Like,
you don't feel connected to them anyway. So
literally,
why would your expectation be for them to?
Yeah. Sometimes when you're growing, you and your friends, y'all may grow in different directions, or they go, it's different when, even if y'all don't talk that much, you still have a friend who's like, how's this going? How's that going?
Yeah,
Vice
checking
versa.
in. Yeah.
When they don't care or when they're offended. I had friends who were offended.
Envious?
By me getting married. You know what I'm saying? Because
you said offended. Envious?
All of it. Because they thought that it should have been them, or they thought that I didn't deserve it, or they thought, you know what I'm saying?
Girl, take it up with God.
Right.
Because y'all out here praying for stuff y'all ain't prepared for anyways.
That came from a place. That happened to that girl.
You out here praying for something that God is literally saying, nah, champ, get back in there. You got to go back to the gym. I need you to sweat that out. Because you got so much on the inside of you. You need to detox.
Yeah.
You out here mad at me because God elevated me, and
like, you could be elevating too.
Bro, and what's crazy is we want you to win.
You mad at me.
We want you to go with us.
Come on, let's go.
You separated yourself.
Literally. That is so real. And then the third thing I think is being like, when there's no present reason or value for why they're around. Ooh. So it's like, well, I've known them for this long.
Jordan.
Or they helped me with this. Or and it's like, okay, but what about Trey?
Jordan, I did this sort of like a worksheet activity. I'm always learning, always evolving. We're lifelong learners over on this side of the street. I was just trying to better ourselves. But anyways, I did this activity, and in the activity, it caused me to write down everyone that's a part of my life and actually list out characteristics that I like about them. Yeah. That was one tier. The second tier was for me then to determine, based on our relationship, what value they add to my life. And then the third was, what value do I add to theirs. I will tell you that in the beginning of 2024, there was a list. We've transitioned to 25. There's so many people that were on that list that did not transfer. Jesus. But hear me, when I made the list, there were parts of the activity I couldn't fully complete because I didn't have an answer for it. Yeah. And I think that even then it made me realize, okay, I'm seeing it on paper. It wasn't adding up in my spirit to start with. But now I'm seeing on paper, okay, this actually makes sense. What I'm feeling is legitimate.
You have to make it practical.
Correct.
You have to make it literal.
Child, some of us, we be so spiritually wise, we be earthly no good.
I mean, just
earthly slow.
Earthly ain't got just ashy in the spirit.
Oh, God sent them to me. I'm supposed to be with them for the rest of my life. That ain't what the Lord said.
And the thing is, and this is another thing, friendships do go through seasons.
They
Sometimes you're going to be more of a friend to a person than they can be to you.
Absolutely. And that goes back to scripture. A friend loves at all times.
Yeah.
Like a brother is born for adversity. Loving at all times does not mean that we always going to be ha ha he he. It means that iron gonna sharpen iron
for
sometimes.
Sure. And so I feel like that, because friendship breakups is such a wide spectrum, and every situation is different. Yeah. I feel like sometimes there are grounds for when you have initiated a breakup and you shouldn't have.
That's real.
Because I've talked to people and they'll be like, I'm done with so and so, and I'm like, well, why? And they'd be talking, they're just this and they're just that and they're just, and I would be like, I would hate to be in that situation and for you to be thinking about how me being in this predicament is so taxing on you. Granted, there may be a situation where you may not be able to handle it, but if you need to ease up, then okay. But there are times where you are literally going to be more of a friend to somebody than they can be to you. Sometimes it's going to be vice versa. You never know. I have literally been so depressed, Vannah, that I did not know. My name is what? And somebody had to come get me and say, hey, let's go get Mexican. Or, hey, I'm coming to get, like, because they knew I was in the bed under the covers, like, couldn't get out of bed, couldn't find the motivation. You want to go grocery store shopping with me?
I feel like earlier we talked about being vulnerable and how relationships are so intimate. I feel like we as a people, we are in a social media age where people are so self-centered.
Everything has to serve you. Everything has to, what is this doing for me?
At what point, especially if you're Christian, are you not able to differentiate, okay, we were both high at one point. My brother is down. How can I serve them? How can I help carry them during this season? Because guess what? Seasons change.
They sure do.
You said that you talked about experiencing depression. You know, I experienced that, anxiety, all the things when I didn't have a job for 2 years. In my friendship with you then, if you would have, oh, I'm finna cry.
Hold on, Vannah be crying. Vannah be crying, and it's so crazy because I'm not a crier whatsoever. And I just be like, oh, just cry, girl. Just go ahead and get it out.
Ooh.
But even before she says what she said, even when she was going through this, y'all, and this is why it's so important to be connected to God.
Jesus.
All I saw was this little ball of sunshine who God loves so much. And every time I saw her, I'm like, Vannah. And I knew that she was going through it, but it was just like the Holy Spirit would just like, just love on her, you know?
Jesus.
And so that, whenever she talks about that, it's just like, it's not that I didn't know, because she would express like, you know, I'm going through it. This is hard. This is whatever. But there was nothing in me that was like, I cannot be around her. She dragging me down. It was not there. It wasn't there.
Jesus.
You collected yourself enough?
I have collected myself. That thing welled up. What I wanted to say though is piggybacking. Going back to being self-centered in that season, had you been a friend that distanced yourself from me because I didn't have on the nicest clothes, or, you know, I wasn't able to style my hair. I felt it. Okay. I was boom, boom, boom. I was down bad.
Yeah.
But had you been the friend that was more focused on outward appearance versus what God put in on the inside of me, not only would this relationship not be here, but I also think I would have been one more lonely girl. You know, like
Lame.
there is a I think that there's a level of self-awareness that friendships have to have in order to be able to cater to one another, regardless of whatever space they're in. I am my brother's keeper.
For sure.
And I can do that because my brothers have bared mine.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah, that's real. Ooh, it's just, that's also, I know that I view friendship different from a lot of people that I've been in friendship with. A lot of my grounds for friendship was with, you know, my sisters. And I also grew up in the same neighborhood as my childhood best friend, and our parents treated us as siblings, my parents and their parents. And so it's just like, my idea of friendship was like, all right, let's roll. Yeah. Even my friends, like, I'm still friends with them since high school. Like, you fighting, I'm fighting. Like,
y'all, when Jordan says that, I'm like, I'm like, Jordan, we're almost, she 30, we 30. Like,
I ain't gonna fight.
We cannot be saying stuff like that. She like, but where they at? Who said something?
I be ready. Like, it's just like, and then the Lord be like, Jordan, she put it like, somewhere else.
Relax.
And I'm like, all right, Lord, I pray for them. I pray that I be angry praying for people. Lord, just open
Y'all,
their hearts, made
she
them
be mad.
like I'll be upset.
Sis be mad.
For sure, because I hate injustice.
Yeah.
Be careful what you name your children.
Okay.
Alexa means defender of man. And when I tell you, you can cuss me out and I'm going to say, all right, you hurt my friend, square up. Put boxing gloves on your hands and your feet. Period. But my friends, we are so like, dun, 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 dun. Like we roll. And so when I went out into the world, you know, college and stuff like that, everybody's not like that.
No, absolutely not.
Everybody's not like that.
One of the key things that you said, though, that I want to harp on is the foundation. The foundation of the way that you viewed friendship goes back to how you were raised.
Yeah. And because of that, there's even this is something me and my friend Whitney say, like, when we go into a situation, we know we're not, like, let's say we're arguing, whatever. We're not leaving this situation without the other person. Unless it really just gets that far and it's a mutual understanding. Okay, we can't.
Yeah.
But when we go into a situation, I'm not leaving without you. It's us against whatever it is that we have. It's like marriage. It's a covenant.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's not you against me. It's, all right, you felt some type of way. I felt some type of way. Let's figure out what that thing is and try to combat that together.
Correct.
I'm not leaving without you.
Therapy had to teach me that because no one taught me that growing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that comes from having siblings who fight.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Because when I tell you, me and my sisters, me and my, you know, my best friend growing up, that's basically my sister too.
Yeah.
In the front yard, like
tussling.
I still have bruises on my body from like when gashes were taken out of my flesh.
Yeah.
And then we get up and be like, you want to bake cookies?
See? And that, I feel like that level of exposure though, at an early age, it gave you those skill sets to navigate conflict. Yeah. If I grew up in a house, if my parents argued, which was rare, I'm talking about maybe 3 times in my whole life, they came and apologized to us as kids.
Oh, that's sweet. That's actually
it was so tender, so gentle. Like I did not grow up around conflict.
Yeah.
And in turn, it made me not able to navigate it even into my adulthood, honestly. So it was a challenge.
Speaking of conflict, now we're going into the topic of what happens when you're the person who you realize that you're growing beyond everybody. Do you tell people, all right, I'm done, I'm better than you?
Been there, done that, got a t-shirt. That does not work.
I am Jimmy Neutron and I'm trying something new. I'm gone.
Boy, genius.
You know what I'm saying? Do you let people know that you're out? Do you let them know that you've outgrown them? Is there a grace that you're supposed to have? Like, what does that look like?
So you asked me what the process was initially for when you feel like there's a shift or you feel like a friendship breakup is oncoming.
Yeah.
Step 1 was to pray.
Yeah.
Step 2,
Step 1, you know that now.
Refer to 1. In all things, refer to 1. But step 1 to pray, 2 to still yourself so that you can hear God's voice. Because He gonna tell you what to do. Not gonna have you out here looking stupid.
Yeah.
Even if you are the one that's initiating. I think that reflection, because it's a mirror, whether we talking about the word or him, it's a mirror.
It's gonna show you for sure.
It's gonna show you. But you being able to look, not look, but you being able to listen.
Yeah.
Listen to the sound judgment, sound wisdom that He gives to you. Yeah. And then taking it and using it, I think is a big part of that.
Yeah, definitely. Same. Because sometimes you do gotta just leave, depending on the situation. You know, and then other times it is a matter of, hey, I'm going in this direction, you're going in that one. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see each other down the line. I don't know. But you do have to be able to say, I don't have the capacity to facilitate this anymore.
I think that depending on the relationship, sometimes closure is needed and other
Sometimes
times it's not.
Yeah.
Depending on not only the level of connection of the relationship, but also where you guys are in your lives.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try to end stuff so cute, and God gashed it for a reason. Like,
cut it off. Yeah.
let it bleed. You know, Usher said, "Let it burn." That's real.
Yeah.
All things aren't meant to be smooth like sandpaper.
Yeah. Definitely.
Some stuff, some things, it's okay for it to have those ragged edges, and know that it doesn't fall on you one way or the other. If you prayed, if you listened to what God told you to do, and you walk that out, you follow the instructions. That's it.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I've definitely had a friendship where it was ghosted for a while. And then the person contacted me and they were like, hey, I know I haven't talked to you and you haven't talked to me. Like, it's been a mutual thing. I don't think that whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I clarified and I said, no, I'm done. And that brought the closure piece to it. Because there was that period of time where we didn't talk, and I did fall back because I was usually always the one reaching out. So I was like, well, let me see how much this person cares. Well, and so sometimes in that distance and creating a little bit of distance, you find out, I actually am all right. Not facilitating this friendship anymore. There was also another friendship where I started to feel really drained and tired all the time and whatever. I'd be talking about my energy coins.
Yeah.
I was spending my coins. I was broke at the end of every time we hung out, and put a little distance there. And I was just like, yeah, I can do without.
Yeah.
And I mean, they ended up breaking up with me, but when it happened, I was like, woo, thank God. But yeah, sometimes, like you said, closure is necessary, and sometimes closure happens and sometimes it doesn't. But
I think that for me, I've been in so many friendship seasons. I have learned that sometimes you get to a point where things are coming to an end, and it's so
obvious.
Not even obvious, yes, but so messy.
Yeah.
That you have to be willing to separate yourself and distance yourself from everything that's going on around you, even if it means that you don't get to save face, even if it means you walk away from it.
Because that means,
bro. Even if it, hear me, let me finish. Even if it means that you walk away as the person that looks like an idiot,
and they lying on you,
hear me, the person who lost, the person who came up with it in your head, like even if it means that you got to be the one to take the L in the long run to save your
fake
peace,
narrative, yeah,
child, run. Because baby, forget the energy coins. The bank can't be replaced.
I can't interact with that because then I'm gonna be exactly who you lying and saying I am. She's crazy. She's this. She's that. Okay,
she's not. And you know what? God is so. I love him so much because we don't have to fight for ourselves.
No,
bro.
we don't. Vindication is real.
Play with it if you want to.
When I tell you, this is just sidebar. I have literally, spiritually heard conversations about me.
Come on.
And have had to interact with people as if
nothing happened.
And the person multiple times has come to me and said, I just wanted to apologize. And I'm like, for what? I had a conversation about you the other day. I said this. When I tell you everything I heard spiritually, and the Lord said, now pray. Every single thing I heard them say, they apologized for it.
Yeah.
In situations where I've been lied on. It's crazy.
That's
Vindication It's real.
He said, vengeance is mine.
Which that takes me to the last one of the last points, because I got another thing after this. Christians, when we go through friendship breakups, and you know, you may outgrow a person, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They might have even done something bad to you.
Yeah.
Why is it that that person is a demon?
I think that, one, we forget the Bible say in this life you're going to have many troubles. Because where you think the trouble going to come from? You think the trouble always is going to come from a situation? No. Guess what? Situations are onset by people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't get one without the other. I think that we're so quick in culture, in Christian culture, rather, to call a thing a demon, without actually taking the time to realize, like, hey, what is this developing in me? Hey, what process, like, I'm going to take a step back, take my emotions out of it. Because that's really what it's led. That's really led by, your emotions. Taking a step back.
Taking a step back. Come on, Macon.
I'm embarrassed. It's slid all the way out.
Taking a step back.
Taking a step back and being able to isolate this situation will give you clear eyes.
Yeah.
Everyone is not a demon. What you're experiencing, it may be the close of a season. It may be that person may be dealing with something that doesn't have anything to do with you. Or it very well may be a demon. But everything does not need to be cast out.
If they have a demon, doesn't mean that they're the demon. For me, Vannah, it's giving... You forgot that you were made in God's image and you're trying to make him out be made in yours. Because just because you're upset with somebody doesn't mean he's upset with them.
Jordan, I don't care. And this hits home. I don't care what a person has done to me. I don't care what experiences.
And she's not lying when she says this.
I don't care what experiences have been onset because of whatever chaos has taken place during the course of a relationship that I'm a part of or no longer a part of. My heart.
She's not lying.
My heart.
She about to cry. She be crying.
My heart is that I want to see you saved.
She's not lying, bro.
I don't want to see anybody die and go to hell for no reason.
Yeah. Or even do bad in life. Like, she'll tell me something, I'll be like, what's the addy? Let's go. Skirt. I mean, we could just put sugar in the tank. Like, we ain't got to do... And she'd be like, Jordan.
I care so much about God's people.
Yes.
Because I understand that at the end of the day, bare basic, I should be dying on my way to hell. Period.
Yeah.
For all the stuff I done did.
Yeah.
So if he forgave me, how can I hold animosity towards a person for something? Do you know how many times I've been the villain in somebody's story?
Plenty. I know I have.
Like, you know how many times I've had to go back and apologize because of something I've said or done?
Yeah.
Like, when I say I care about God's people, I don't care what, hear me, because somebody gonna hear this. I don't care what you did to me. I'm not mad. I have nothing but love in my heart for you. I pray for you.
For sure.
Because
I've heard it.
Because I just don't have the capacity. Yeah. I don't have the capacity.
It's too much energy.
Baby, because God is taking me from faith to faith and from glory to glory. That's on one end. But the other
so
end,
much for her in such a short amount of time.
Because who am I? I don't know who I am.
Mindful.
I don't recognize myself. And to God be the glory. But to get back on the topic, I genuinely care about people from a place of, I don't want to see anybody live a life in sin, especially people who call themselves Christian. Like, I care so much about you that I'm interceding on my face for you so that you don't miss. Because what is all of this even about? This going to church, this fasting, this praying.
For real, y'all.
Us kumbayaing, us
what
singing, us getting all dressed up and getting cute so that we can take Sunday photos when at the end of the day we going home and our hearts dirty. Like, literally. Clean it up. And not clean it up from a place of, I'm judging you. But I guess in a way I am judging you, because if we're supposed to be like him, I need to see your fruit.
Literally. When the scripture says, what is it, for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I think we always think about money, flashy cars, women, fancy house. The world is systems. The world is political stuff.
Come on.
And it's in the church too, y'all. And it's in, the whole superior, like I was telling Vannah yesterday, if you give a person the opportunity to feel superior, they will take it. And so even with friendship breakups, I'm mad at you, so God is mad at you. I don't like you, so God don't like you.
And it ain't so.
It's literally
it
not.
ain't so.
It's not. It's literally not.
I think about Saul. The Bible says that God allowed, God allowed the Spirit to enter Saul. Y'all, you sitting out here mad because of this and that, and the whole time God could have potentially
allowed it to develop you, because David was running.
He was running. He was on track.
I was reading most of the book. I said, when does he become king?
He said, he was dodging that thing.
I said, all this agony. Oh, gosh, when is the thing they always preach about him he was with the sheep.
He wasn't king for about 5 years.
Then he was a king. It's like all this right here. That man was running forever.
Come on. I said 5 years. I don't know how long he was king, but it seriously, he ran for a significant part. Yeah,
a long time.
Yeah, he ran there a lot.
So I just, as Christians, I just think that we just need to read the Bible. I think that we need to pray.
Just bare minimum.
I think we need to understand that just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean that God feel that way.
And hear me. Take the time to, like we said, pray, read your word, sit so you can hear what it is that he's saying. And he'll tell you exactly how he feel.
And please, also, before we move to the last thing, just because you feel something strongly doesn't mean that it's him.
Ooh, I'm gonna go.
That's why I said read the Bible. That's why I said pray. Sometimes people feel something strongly, and you think because you feel it strongly, that is God. And it could be God, little G-O-D, God your emotions, God your feelings, God your flesh. But just because you feel it strongly, I feel that thing. Well, go poop. Sorry.
Jordan, you're not the win out of me. I wasn't ready.
Get it out. Get it out your system, because it's not him. That was not God. It wasn't him. Sorry.
And you know how simply, how you know it's not him?
Uh-oh.
Check his track record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What you getting ready to push out, do it look like him? Do it got a stench? Cause they call him the Rose of Sharon. Like, one thing God ain't, he ain't no mess. He ain't no mess. He never has been, he never will be.
Never will be.
Now he might cause a riot. He a God of thunder. He'll call fire down. But he ain't no mess.
Okay, so the last thing I want to say, for somebody who may be going through a friendship breakup right now, what would you say?
You're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's challenging where you are now, this space. It may seem so overwhelming that you don't know how you'll get past the next second, the next minute, the next hour. But it all works out for you in the end.
Yeah, all things.
All you can do is take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and trust that God cares so much about you that even if you were wrong, there's grace for you, and his grace will carry you through to your appointed end, whether that end is another relationship or you being in a situation where you grow, you evolve, you learn a new place of healing that you come to. My word of wisdom, my encouragement to you is to be encouraged, because there is an end.
Well,
Jordan, please.
that caught me off guard. Like, I was like, put that in your back pocket. Be encouraged because there is an end, daughter. I would say you already have what it is that you're looking for in that relationship. You're already loved. You're already cared for. You are already, somebody already sees you as worthy. Somebody already sees you as, the apple of their eye. And obviously that's God.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with friendship breakups, of course, you and the person might have had good times. You and the person might have, whatever. But sometimes it's not necessarily we miss that person. We just miss how we felt when we were with them. We miss, what we believe that they had to offer us.
Yeah.
And all of it's literally in God. Literally. Even if you say, I don't really rock with God like that, he still already loves you. And he already thinks seriously, it's already true. And then the next thing that I will say is take this time to love yourself and figure out who you are, because so many times we take on the identities of other people. My goodness. And we realize later on, it's like, no, wait a second, I don't even like the skateboard.
How did we even get here?
You know what I'm saying? So take this time to learn yourself, to solidify your identity. Of course, the best way to do that is through God and, Christ. But outside of that, what do you like to do?
Right.
Who are you? Because it makes no sense to enter into another relationship, another friendship, without being able to even present to that person, this is who I am. Because guess what? You might end up breaking up again.
Correct.
Because they not in friendship with you. They in friendship with a dummy. And I don't mean like idiot, like them people that be in the car like when they hit the wall.
Yeah.
They might be in a
false version of who you are.
Or a trail of all the people who you called friend in the past.
An adaptation.
Yeah. And that's a big thing, an adaptation of the person who you were for those people in the past.
Right.
Learn who you are. Solidify that identity. Learn what you like to do. Learn
that's so good.
What you like. Take the time. Isolation is hard. It does not feel good. And oftentimes when you're in isolation, you hear things, you realize things, you experience things that don't feel good.
Yeah.
But that's what healing is. A lot of times healing is painted as this journey that's, easy peasy beautiful.
Child,
healed.
Please.
No.
Boo, tomatoes.
Think about somebody actually getting surgery. There's a gash in your body with string holding it together.
That's so.
And hoping that the skin regrows properly, the muscle regrow properly. It's nasty. It's messy. Yeah. Lay down and heal. Yeah. So that's all I got. Any last words, church? Amen. So first of all, let's just go ahead and thank Vannah for being here. She did great, didn't she?
Thanks, guys.
Yes, we love her.
Love y'all.
Absolutely. You guys know if you want to follow me, you can follow me at _Jordan Alexa. That's at _JORDANALEXA. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you are listening, make sure to rate and leave a review. And that's it. I love you guys so much. You're the best. This has been actually with Jordan Alexa. Bye.
Bye.